My next guest this evening is best known from news radio and the movie Godzilla. Now, her new movie is Breakfast of Champions, and her voice can be heard on the new animated show Mission Hill, which is on the WB. Please welcome Vicki Lewis. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I love this in your hair.
The
That's very...
streaky thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just said, did someone just skunk you? Then I got depressed about it, but I think
it looks very cool.
right? Yes.
I may do that.
Really?
No, I'm not going to. But it looks cool on you. What have you been up to? You've been very busy. You got.
I have the movie coming out, and I'm doing the animated show. But I've been all summer. I was preparing for a role in a film called Forgetting the Girl. And it's a very dark piece. It's about, she's a manic depressive, and she's a sort of schizophrenic, and she's suicidal, and she's a chain smoker.
It's a family movie.
That's right. It's also on the WB. And
it's the new Herbie the Love Bug. Yeah.
And so I hate when I go to a movie and I see a character who is smoking, who puts the cigarette up and does the thing, and you wait and there's no smoke, and they're obviously faking it. So I picked up the habit after 17 years, just kidding, 20 years or 30 years, late in my life.
But you took up smoking?
So I'm addicted to it, and I started with the Marlboro, which is like the loaded gun, right? They're the worst. Then I went to the Winston, and now I'm on the healthy cigarettes.
What's a healthy cigarette? What, is there bran in it?
You know what? No, it's American Spirit Lights, and it's just like smoking a tampon.
I wouldn't know. Never tried that.
Try tampon.
I actually smoke those, though. Tampons,
They're healthy, because I heard you're into the
So how's it going?
Thing and stuff. I was pulled over by some cops. This wasn't in the pre-interview, but, very interesting, right? Because we were talking. I did something illegal. I turned left on a light that said no left. And I knew it immediately. The cop went with the light, right?
I thought you meant the cop went like this.
Yeah. Woo! He was on the horse! Woo! It was a tampon string.
Oh, why?
And so...
You know what? The audience wasn't demanding more of you. I know. I made that happen.
No, listen. Oh, you made that
I pressed a button, yeah.
This is fake or real? What is
This
that?
is made of chocolate.
Okay. So anyway, the light goes, right? And I pull over, and, I've got a Barney's bag. I'm in a nice car. I'm 5'1". I'm very little. I roll the window down, and he says, you made a wrong turn there. That's illegal. I said, I know, sir. I'm very sorry. I'm wrong. And then he turned back to me, and he said, are you a friend of Andy Dick's? And I thought, oh, you recognize me from the show, and I said, yes, I am. He said, put your hands on the wheel, right? I swear to God. I see a tapping on the passenger window. The guy's motioning down, gets a gun out.
No.
Goes like this. Well, Andy Dick, right? And just because I'm on the show with him doesn't mean that I travel in similar circles. And then he threw me the ticket and said, it would behoove you to keep better company. Right?
Well, I agree with him. But that's terrible that happened. I did want to...
But not only just, it's weird how they go down. Those.
Yeah.
It's a little funky.
I thought it was a black thing. It was a black and Andy Dick thing, I guess. You down with Andy Dick.
It's a common problem. Yeah. Now, I saw you, and I know you don't mind talking about this, but I saw you at the Oscars with your date, Nick Nolte, and you're walking in, and I thought you looked beautiful. I thought it was an amazing, sort of eye-catching outfit that you were wearing.
Thank you very much. It was ill-designed, unfortunately.
Describe to people what it was, because it was pretty unusual.
It was a corset, but I wanted it to be a very long corset, so it came down the hips. Is this like one of those, in that movie where she does that? That was my hand. But I wanted a long corset, but the whole time I designed it, standing up now, I was standing up. And we got to the Oscars, and I went to sit, and I had never sat in it, and it didn't give. So it was...
Wait, so you were like this the whole time?
I was trying not to be, right? And then it was very tight, and I think I might have fractured a rib or something. And then they would say, it's time for a break, you can go to the bathroom now, and I'd look at the line, and, you know, I'd realize what I have to go through to get to pee, and so I would just sit there, and Nick was like, short breath, it was like childbirth, you know, I'm like, you know, and so finally, we got out of there, we got in the limo, and I got on all fours, you know, and I said, honey, get this thing off me, and he's behind me, and you know, because you have to go from behind, right? And then now, as I look up, I see that there are all these cop cars. How weird that was. No, because some man has broken the barricade, right? And there's all these cop cars and photographers, and he's, you know, behind me. It doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. And to this day, I'm amazed there's been no photograph or, you know, some horrible thing. So it was an ill-conceived design.
Yeah, well, it was nice to look at. Very nice to look at.
The cops are not corset-friendly either.
No, one time they pulled me over in a corset.
And you were with Andy Dick, and it got very ugly. Well, Breakfast of Champions opens this Friday, and your new show, Mission Hill, is going to be on next Tuesday at 9 o'clock on the WB.
It's fabulous. Created by the guys who created The Simpsons. Fridays at 8 o'clock, Mission Hill.
Very
fabulous
cool.
show.
Vicki, thanks so much for coming
You're
by. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun. Vicki Lewis, everybody. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with John Prine. Stick around.